It's recently come to light that Antony Blinken, the current Secretary of State, reached out to Michael Morell, who was the Deputy CIA Director, during the 2020 election and asked him to run some cover for him on this Hunter Biden laptop that was about to drop. So, what did Michael Morell do? Did he look into it and study it and see if it was Russian disinformation? No, he didn't. He contacted 51 of his other spy buddies and got them to sign onto a letter saying that it was Russian disinformation, and not one of them knew for a fact. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to tell you the details. Just stick around and hit the like button. It wasn't long after the Hunter Biden laptop story broke that the disinformation campaigns started quickly. In fact, a letter was quickly signed by 51 former intelligence agents and agency personnel saying that the Hunter Biden laptop had all of the earmarks of Russian disinformation. And it's right out of Putin's playbook, and you can repeat the lines and repeat the lines. Now, it turns out that those 51 intelligence specialists didn't just all get together randomly and decide to sign a letter. It was orchestrated. In fact, we now know that it was orchestrated starting with the Biden campaign itself. Antony Blinken, who is the current Secretary of State, was a senior Biden official at the time that the Biden laptop story broke. And he contacted our friend here, Michael Morell. He was a deputy CIA director during the time. And Mr. Morell is the one who went out and contacted all the other folks to get them to sign on to the letter. Now, keep in mind, a lot of times the left will tell you, well, this is all Russian disinformation that was put out by Rudy Giuliani, as if that's supposed to change anything. But we know for a fact that the laptop is not Russian disinformation, and it wasn't first put out by Rudy Giuliani. It was actually first given to the FBI. So the FBI had the laptop for at least 18 months before the laptop was released, which means the intelligence officials had no excuse to say that this was Russian disinformation. And during that questioning, he told us that Mr. Blinken is who contacted him, and he told us why he did what he did. And here's what he has to say. So the question is, but prior to Secretary Blinken's call, you did not have any intent to write the statement? Answer, I did not. Question, okay, so his call triggered? Answer, it did, yes. Question, that intent in you? We go down here, absolutely, yes. So the intent we see was triggered by Blinken. That's not a question, that's in his testimony here. And then further on down in the interview, here's what Morell says. After the debate, I think it was after the debate, in fact, I'm pretty sure it was after the debate, I got a phone call from Jeremy Bash, who I work with at Beacon and who is active politically. And Jeremy said, do you have a minute to talk to Steve Ricchetti? I said, of course. He was the head of the Biden campaign at the time. And Jeremy got him on the line, and Steve thanked me for putting the statement out. And that was the extent of the conversation. But a lot of pushback on this, saying that Jim Jordan has overblown this, is saying that he didn't intend to help the Biden campaign by doing this. He was just trying to do his due diligence, his duty. Question, what was the intent of the statement? Answer, there were two intents. One intent was to share our concern with the American people that the Russians were playing on this issue. And two, it was to help Vice President Biden. Chairman Jordan, you wanted to help the Vice President. Why? Answer, because I wanted him to win the election. Chairman Jordan, you wanted him to win. That's why? Answer, yes, sir. So let's keep in mind, this is the deputy CIA director at the time who has no business getting involved in politics. That is supposed to be an apolitical post. So he colluded with the current Secretary of State, which you wonder how he got that job. And they lied to the American people to swing the election. Now, it's been, and poll after poll has shown that 15% of Biden voters said they would not have voted for Biden had they known that the laptop was real. And if you know how close that election was, 15% would more than have swung that election. We also got this email today, and let's read it. Now let's start at the bottom because this will be the beginning of the email. But this is from Michael Morrell to John. John, can I add your name to this list? We'll be adding Leon Panetta, Sue Gordon, Jed Johnson, George, Lisa Monaco, and Mike Rogers, DIR NSA Today, Director of NSA. So by adding the name of the director of the NSA, you're adding another apolitical person to this politically motivated lie. And working on adding Dan Coates, Mike Rogers, and Tom Bossert, and lots of other IC career folk, Intel community career folk, trying to give the campaign, particularly during the debate on Thursday, a talking point to push back on Trump on this issue. So he's doing this specifically for the campaign again. And here's what John Brennan has to say. Okay, Michael, add my name to the list. Good initiative. Thanks for asking me to sign on. So John Brennan, of course, is more than happy to sign on. And did you see any exchange between them on, hey, does this look like any Russian disinformation to you? There was no exchange like that. It was, hey, please just sign this and help us out with the debate on Thursday. And John Brennan gladly did. And I'm sure all the others gladly did as well. So what we have here is clear fraudulent collusion and election interference by the Intel community and the Biden campaign, using the current Secretary of State. So there should be many impeachments going out soon, and I would expect some prosecutions coming out of this. And the other point to keep in mind is that this should be the number one priority for Republicans right now. The news is focused so much on Donald Trump and all of his court cases that they're trying to bring up to distract from this. But they need to focus on this and focus in strongly on this because this actually matters, and this made a huge difference. This is where justice could be done quickly and right now. So do me a favor and let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with me on this? Is this not a very big deal? And should people not be prosecuted? Or do you think this is just nothing? Let me know. And also hit the like button, please, for me, and that will help spread this far and wide and get this moving out to other people. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Chances are you're not subscribed, so go ahead and subscribe. Help us grow this channel and this family. And until next time, peace be with you.